Alrighty, Doc here from North America. It is Thursday. We are getting towards the end of the week. We're heading for that weekend. Party. Oh, no. Okay. Anyway, where are we at this morning? You can see what's really curious. Most of the currencies are relatively flat. The yen has really made an interesting move. What I thought news-wise was very interesting is that Italy has pulled out of the Silk Road. I don't know what you want to call that. Silk Road adventure, investment slash whatever. It's the Silk Road something or another, and that was the only G7 country that was in it. And at the same time, there's a meeting in China at the moment with the European Union and a few other participants. I'm not sure if it's just all the European Union and China. In China, and their Xi is basically rolling over like a puppy to some extent. He's not exactly Mr. I'm going to take over the world at the moment, and that's interesting. So we're seeing some interesting news. We know we've talked about it here so many times that China is financially struggling. That's a good way of looking at it. Financially struggling. So, they cannot just beat their chest and fly an airplane next to their national lines and so forth. In other words, China, they can't intimidate at the moment because Xi needs more help than ever before. His policies have really made things pretty upside down. And so, what we're seeing is the combination of Italy pulling out of the Silk Road adventure project, whatever you want to call it. It didn't make a lot of sense to begin with. What's that, Robin? Good morning. So much for new bricks. Yeah, really, it just keeps on dropping and dropping the bricks. Well, we have we look at the largest brick in the world, and that is the best currency in the bricks, and that's the South African rand. And that's been kind of wishy-washy because of its political issues. I think it should be in the 14s. It's trading in, I think, the 19s at this point because of the politics down there, the problems they're having. But, it's not as good a predictor of the metals complex here at the end of the year as it usually is, which means to me is that it's tax selling or covering tax. There's two sides of a tax situation. One is buying shorts and covering their losses, and that pushes gold up. At the same time, we saw China and four other central banks last month plow enormous amounts of money into the world equity market, over $350 billion, which is a big number in stock terms. Another $350 billion in bonds and currencies is like a one or 2 day adventure. That's it. For stocks, $350 billion is, the action that we see in a whole month. So it's very powerful. Stock market is incredibly small compared to the bond and currency markets. So, all right, anyhow, that's where we stand. You can see dollar index up on J4X as we speak. And you can see that the dollar overall just gliding sideways up. You see the fast on J4X is at 88.2 basically, 88.3 right there. And we can see that this slow is at 85. So, it's still pushing up. You got all these green hinky ashkies. You see the same thing on our beta right there. We're looking at 6 days on the upside. Let's see what else let's take a look at that weekly again as usual. And there's the weekly. It's in a weekly sell since the big mountain top, as we say over here, Mountain West top. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. We've been in that weekly sell during that adventure. So, pretty much what we're seeing is that the pressure is on, and then it did a nice little bottom in here, and now today we're flirting just a little bit. Let's widen that out. You can see, right there. You see it's trying to break down. Sometimes it looks a little weirder about that. Let's fix that. Something doesn't look right. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that looks better now. And then so let's put in today at the same time. There we are. That's not doing it. Let's try this. Nope, not there either. How do we get today's quote in there? I'm not seeing today's quote, but you can see here we're still holding up, so that's not too bad. It's in the buy, and it's pretty much it's down just a little bit. I don't believe we're going through the sell because we can see it on the beta. The beta is holding up pretty well there, so I'm not sure why it's not updating at the moment. Maybe it will, during the webinar here. Sometimes it just needs a tick. Just one trade updates it, when we change those parameters. And so we're seeing, and then when we look at all the currencies, they're firm. They're gaining against the dollar. We're not seeing weakness, but okay, good. We have the, let's see what we do. There's the 5. You just double check it again, and then let's do this one more time, and we're going to put 7 in there. And we'll see, and we'll leave it. And maybe when we get back to it, possibly we'll see a change in it. We'll double check before the end of the webinar. So, what else can we say about the dollar? At the moment, sideways. J4X has it still moving up. Our work shows it still moving up, but down for the day. And you can see that on the beta right there again. Right there, you can see that today. And you can see that the daily is still in the buy. So it's all this strength is showing itself. Now, let's move over to, where do we go from there? What made you say BRICS, Robin? Anything particular? Because of China's conference that they're having with the Europeans, which also was interesting, as the Europeans came out and said they think that they'll cut before the Federal Reserve cuts. That was interesting. It's one way to put a little charge into the old stock market over there. So from there, let's go over to the euro and see the euro, and you'll see it's just a little. Well, now it's down. It was a little firmer before. Let's put the futures contract in too at the same time. And Jeff said he sent. Giannis, if you're listening, Jeff did send a new message, and did what you suggested yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Get a ticket working, and you can see right here. There's the euro. Just down a little bit, still in the daily sell, and you can see that weekly is on the edge of the edge of the edge, but still looking fine. Same thing over here. You see it's still in the buy, and you can see that weakness on the dailies. And then we go over to J4X. Let's see, right? Right. There you go. So you can see it's been gliding down also, and you can see the fast is at 5.4, and the slow is at 9.9, almost 10. So it's almost double. So the little pressure there. Yeah, they have that conference today. The last couple of days they've had it, and the European Union is over there, and the president of the European Union, and Italy pulled out of the Belt and Road situation, making the Belt Road situation even worse than ever now. They can't really clarify what profits are there. They just said they'll benefit. People who belong to it will benefit. There's not much benefiting going on at the moment. All right. So from there, we'll put cable up on the screen. Let's see what the cable. There we are. And there's cable up on J4X. You can see 3 days there of weakness. Oh, wait a minute. I put up. That's a S&P 500 that we got up in there. How did we?
Market data connection lost.
We need to go like that. There we go. There's the euro, and you can see the euro is firming. Is that the
Market
euro?
data connection re-established.
There is the euro. There we go. You see that weakness there. It's off the highs of the day, And the weekly, as you can see right there, is really close to the zero line. It's at 0.00118, very close. I'm a tad surprised. I really didn't expect to see the euro breaking down this much this fast. But again, we try to remind everybody this is the end of the year. You know, in other words, you can do tax loss by a combination of things. You can or tax selling by a combination of things. You could be selling stocks that you've had big gains in. You can be selling stocks that you've had big losses in, so you can offset profits of others. You can be covering shorts that have gone up and you've taken a loss there, so you're covering it, and that pushes pressure on the upside, and vice versa. Well, you can't really sell short to do a tax thing because that's an opening trade, really. But the other three ways do it. So that's why you see the pressure on the markets in different directions. Ask any question you like. Oh, okay, good. Regarding trading or specific markets for futures or Forex and stocks and ETFs. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Robin, for reminding them. I like that. Indeed. We try to, have a deep, comfortable, relaxed. Can I use the word deep? We shoot for a comfortable, relaxed conversation about anything and everything here. Anything and everything. We go with Spock in Star Trek. Live long and prosper. And the only way you do that is if you understand how everything is functioning. Excuse me. So from there, where are we at? That's cable. And I'm sorry, that's euro. Let's put the cable up there. I got the cable up on J4X, and you can see over here on the right, we still have the euro up there, and you can see it's been in the cell. Let's steal that line there. We'll just put a line in there. You see here, we've been in a daily sell now for 6 full days. Yep, and that's what it really comes down to. You can see it right there. That is the euro, and that's why we're surprised it's so close to the weekly sell. Now, we're not seeing it in the futures contract yet, but then this is a day behind when it comes to the weekly signal. And all right, now from there we go over to cable. We can look at the cable futures contract for its opinion, what it's thinking. And you can see there's strength there, but it's on the 4th day of a sell. And then we go over here, right there. And you can see the same situation. There you are. Okay, it's moved over one because it had the green dot too. And so you can see right here, 3 days in a sell now. It's been pressuring down. The weekly seems to be holding up much better than the euro. But let me just show you. I was surprised yesterday when I went to look at the euro GBP. And it jumped into the buy. And I was like, wow, that's surprising. And now we're right back going underneath the sell again. So whatever move that was, it's not happening right. And at the same time, you can see the weekly. Let's put a weekly bar in there. The weekly's been in the weekly sell for the 3rd week here now. There it is. So there's a lot of pressure on that. And just why don't we put the weekly buy in there too, like that. There. Right, there we go. So you can see there, that's the weekly buy. It ran from the, what is that, the 80, what is that? That's the 88 area up to the, or is that the 85 area, 85 and a half to the 88 area. So it was an interesting move there. It was gaining against the cable with that move, and now it's broken down in just a few weeks and taken out all the profits there. We've been saying that for a little while now. We're a little surprised to see how the cable is holding up much stronger than the euro. So from the cable, as we looked at there and on J4X, we'll go over to the Swiss. There's the Swiss right there. There we are. And you see here, this is the Swiss. Went into a buy 2 days ago. This is the third day in a buy right there. And it's very close, but it was 0 across the board or plus for the last 3 days. And the weekly sell, you can see the fast algorithm down at the bottom starting to really turn up, trying to hit the manifold. It's not getting through the zero line, but it is moving up, and this thing's the slow is doing the same thing. We're getting a turn there. Now let's take a look at it over here on J4X right there with the Manhattan indicators. Right there. You can see 3 green hinky ashkies. And you can see the fast at 77, let's call that 78 now, and the slow at basically a little under 60 at 59.5. So there's definitely some pressure. Again, end of year could be, I don't see like major changes going on in the marketplace at the moment. To me, it's all just end of year noise. And then January will be, people try to predict every year what the markets do in the last 3 or 4 weeks, last 5 weeks, and how January is going to look. Because remember, there's a clean slate when you come to January. In other words, money managers have 12 months to figure out how to make money, whereas now they've had 11 months and 1 week. They've already done it all. They're not going to, in the next 3 weeks, they're not going to change their portfolios to the point where you get this miraculous success or failure. They're just standing to the side. If they have profits, they're not interested in doing anything more than reducing their taxation that will be defined in 3 weeks. So, that's why I keep on reminding traders, do not get bogged down thinking this is a sign of new direction or old direction or possible direction or things to come. Anything is possible. And again, we're talking about the idea that in 3 weeks money managers start off flat again. They're fresh, looking for how to make money for the next 12 months. And so these last 3 weeks are not something to just jump on. All right, let's see. Let's go over to the yen. This is the big mover of the day. Look at this. Look at that slam down. I mean, wowzer. They took that. We're in a weekly sell for the last. This is the 3rd week of it, so you couldn't take it long like a couple days ago. You had to stand to the side. Now today they've knocked it down, so you probably feel pretty comfortable that you didn't try to get into a long. And that's the action we're seeing at the moment in the yen, and we've seen some real political changes over the last 3 weeks, matching with this high top. Maybe they didn't believe that the government, the LDP party, would clean things up. They're the ones in charge, and what they've done is they've removed the finance minister. 6 months ago, they put in a new, I guess it's like 9 months ago now, they put in a new head of the Bank of Japan, and now they're basically telling the LDP leadership, stop spending slush money. In other words, money that's been raised as contributions for politics, and then spending it on the members of the parliament itself for parties and adventures and vacations. So, just that this could be part of the reason we were seeing such damaging 45-year highs in the yen. And we saw where the Nikkei, still could not get to all-time highs. Let's put the Nikkei up there again. We did this yesterday. Where are you, Nikkei? We're going to put it up on the beta. Not Nike. Nikkei. There it is. And there's the Nikkei up on J. Why is that not? Let's try this. And there, okay, there's the Nikkei. I think that's the Nikkei. We'll tell you in a second. Yep, that's it. There's the Nikkei. Let's put it up on here. I wonder if we can get it up on J4X. I don't think we've tried looking for Nikkei. Let's see, what is that? NKD maybe? NK. No, that's not it. Right here. NK. Not found. If anybody knows what the Nikkei index, let's see, maybe I have to spell it more. NI, maybe it's NI. NI. Nah, that's not doing it either. Let's go back one. NI. Because it had a list there. Let's see if we can find something. Something Euro. Nikkei. Alright, well, we'll do an escape on that. There we are. So, you can see here on J4X, we've moved almost up to 34,000. The all-time high back in 1993 is 39,000. Okay? So, the Nikkei, this is some of the best moves we've seen. This Nikkei has gone from 39,000 down to 7,000. And now it's trading at 33, 34,000. So that's pretty good. It's been very positive as far as I'm concerned. It's in between. It's like 32,005. Yeah, yesterday they had a 2% move on the upside. There was some excitement. Obviously, they knew something was brewing. And then you go over and you look at the. Let's put the Nikkei. Let's put the yen, dollar yen on J4X right there. And they knew that this was coming. That there was going to be some buying in the currency. And the stocks are giving up the ghost, as we would say around here. In other words, they're not joining in with that. But this could be just a lot of politics at this point for the end of the year situation. What we're seeing is that the changes have been very predominant and very clear. And it's not it's not something that we're not seeing. Huh. All right. Now, let's see. Let's go to the big experiment. Right there. There's the big experiment. Turkish lira trading in the 31-ish area, 31.20 basically. It's been in the daily sell. Let's put that sell line in there. I don't know where that got to, but there it is, right there. Let's see what that thing is all about. Indeed. Let's see. What else can I say about the great experiment? Not much to be said, really. End of the year, we're really happy that the product has stalled out. This is a little sloppy. I'm not sure if we can really trust it, but it almost hit the 33 that we talked about. We've seen it get up into the 30, almost the 32 area, possibly there that day. We've seen some highs. So we've talked about, I think it was a 32.25 situation. It's done, what we were expecting out of it, with this weekly buy, figuring that they would come to new all-time highs, and they have. It's had days and weeks of closes of all-time highs up until the sell right there. And then and then it had this wild spike here. We're not sure how good that is. It doesn't really show on J4X. We'll show you that right now. Let's see, right. There we are. And you can see there that same thing, that gliding down. You don't see that odd spike on it that took out the highs and created new highs. But, we saw all these closing highs, closing, record closes up until 6 days ago. So, I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, I think it's fantastic. I'm not sure if we can say anything more about the Turkish lira. We're just happy it isn't, hurting the people anymore at the end of the year. All right. So the great experiment, we're done with that. And then what we do is we slide over to the big number one brick in the world. There we are. And that's the dollar czar. I saw gold today looking firm. So this should be going down. Well, it's green. That's about it. All right, let's put it up on. You see that? And the fastest at 72.4 and the slow's at 70. So it's still got that little upwardly push. So, metals have not been following the trend with that, with the South African rand of late. It's at times it's exciting. You can see here it's coming. Oh, let's put this over here like that. There we go. You see the South African rand, the number one brick in the world, trying to get into a sell, which usually means that gold is going to go up. When this is going down, normally, when this is going down, gold goes up. And in this case here, it's been a little weird where it keeps on zigzagging up and gold is going up still. So let's just show you the gold. Gold. Let's put it up on here, like that. There it is. I've got it up on the beta. We'll show you that. And then we're going to show it to you over here. Not there. Right there. There we go. And so there is Mr. and Mrs. Gold. And you can see here it's trying to get into the buy this morning. We are in that long weekly buy. I want to save that. Like so. Let's see where we're at. Let's see. Right there. There we are. We got that saved. Now let's take a look at it on the beta. You see there doing the same thing. It's trying to lift up and get into the plus, just like we're seeing on our old platform right there, doing the same thing, right there. And let's check it out over on J4X. And Mr. and Mrs. Gold. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And you can see the fast is parked itself down in the 11.8 area, and the slow is at 20. So give it a couple more hours with this type of action, and it will turn green here. The Hinky actually will turn green, and this thing will start to turn up. About 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that. That's the lag of the Manhattan indicator, but it's one of the best public indicators I can design for our work. That's why we're working on getting connected to Dukascopy on our data feed, and then we can give access to people to our work at the same time. All right. Where do we go from there? We go from the gold to the silver. And there's the silver. Now, silver, we had this long conversation yesterday about silver and platinum, and we're a tad perplexed. It must be a combination of the hedge situation, how they hedge gold. In other words, gold buyers are selling silver, they're selling platinum. It seems to be more of some type of hedge that's going on more than anything else. From there, let's put it up on J4X too. I think I've added the H. There it is. No, that's not it. There is Cocoa. That's cool. Let's see. Where is silver? SI. Maybe it must be SI equals F. Let's see. It's probably up here towards the top. I'm sure I was excited when we first put this all together that I'd be able to see it. There it is. SI equals F. And there it is right there on the beta. And you can see it's still pressing down, and it's in the daily sell, and it's just, and the weekly, holding up. I'm happy about that. That's good. But there on a day-to-day basis, here we are 50% underneath the all-time highs, and we have the Dow Jones, not the Dow Jones, the gold contract basically trading, right around all-time highs this week. It was over or at it, on Sunday night. So you can see that big spike there. It barely could get through the 26. Whereas we'll go back to the gold again. You'll see it. It just ripped right there. That same spike. It was playing with the all-time highs, and it's very curious that we don't see that, and it's disappointing also at the same time. And platinum, the January contract in platinum, spiked, but couldn't even take out the 950, was it 950 area, and you can see it's been in the sell for 5 days, and it goes in and out of weeklies. Now it's trying to climb back into a weekly again. It's just not doing its job. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. It's just not doing its job, and neither is silver. Neither of them are doing their jobs. So let's show you the platinum on here. And there it is right there. You see the platinum, playing with the weekly. Now that's interesting. Is this is our weekly number is a day behind. So tomorrow this might start to shrink down and head towards the 0 line. You can see in here we are still on that. Oh, you can't see that. Here, let me show you right there. You see that we're pressing on that. It's pushing down. So we're seeing that dichotomy again, and we do know that our weekly signal is a day behind. So we'll see how much that starts to push down. And at the same time, you can see the platinum itself has been in a daily sell for 5 days now, and it just, like I said, it just doesn't want to give up. Or is it 4 days? 4 days. It's 4 days down. It just doesn't want to give up. There's no the best products to offset gold, long gold, they're being beaten down. And it's been not just in the last couple of weeks. This has been going on for a couple of years. They just crush these things and knock them down and down and down. Then from there, we'll go over to the copper. Copper is making a cute little bounce this morning. That's good. You can see it right there. Let's see if we can put it up on HE. Let's put it up on the... see if we can find it. There's NG, natural gas. And HG. Nothing there. Must be way, way down. HG. We'll look for the high-grade copper and put that up on the beta and get a flavor of what is really going on there. HG. I'm getting close of finding it. I have to glide up and down. There it is. Okay. So there it is right there. Now, let's take a look at the HG too on J4X. Right there. And three days in the sell. You see that pressure on it, and but it's in the weekly buy over here. You see that? It doesn't, it's going on 4 weeks now on a weekly buy. Let's see. I bet we have like 4 weeks of green, if not 5. Let's see what it shows on J4X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of green hinkies. Look at that. It's been marching up, and we went into the buy just 4 weeks back, and that thing's 7. Is it 7? 3? No, 6. So it's 6. And that's pretty good. It's been pushing up and not surrendering. That's interesting. And it jumped in there. Obviously, we jumped in there. It jumped in there somewhere right down at this low, which was really nice. I'm answering a text. Hold on a second. Okay, so from there, let's see. Basically, from there, we go into the energy sector. That's what it is. We drift over to, energy is lifting up a little bit today. I've seen that. Let's put Brent up on the screen. Also, we'll look at Canadian dollar. So there's U.S. Dollar Canadian, U.S. dollar Canadian dollar. When this is going down, normally that's the weekly. Let's put in the daily. When this thing is going down, normally like that, energy prices are rising, but it's been very tough on the energy sector. So that's there. We'll leave that for a second. Let's go over to here and put West Texas Intermediate up right there. You see that's bouncing a little bit from the last, 6 days. 6 days of selling. Let's save that. Where's that mouse at? There it is. And so at the same time, we see that. Let's take a look at on J4X. And let's, not J4X, let's go to Beta and find the action in, there we are. Let's see if we do this again. And now why is that not showing? I think we had to go with the shorthand one, didn't we? So we had to go with, what was that? That is BZ equals F or something like that. So let's find BZ equals F. That will put it up on the screen for us. BZ equals F. Or is it ZB? Let's see. I don't think ZB was a bond. Let's see. Yeah, that's the bond. That's the 30-year bond. So yesterday we put it up on through the beta by looking for the B's. Was the BZ equals F? Something like that. Let's see. We'll find it in a second. Because this way you can see it with our math included with it. We found it yesterday. We're going to find it today. I see BZ. BZ equals, oh, there it is right there. So here we go. All right, now there you can see 5 days down in the cell. You can see the same thing over on, let's put it on J4X, right? Brent right there. You see 1, 2, this is 5 days down. You see the fast is at 5.1. The slow is at 4.6. So it's trying to lift up a little bit there, just like West Texas is doing on this screen right here. And then right here is the beta showing in the weekly sells for a bunch of weeks. And at the same time, you see the 5 days down. You can see just a little bounce trying to occur there now. Just a little bounce. A lily bounce. A lily bounce. Okay, so from there, let's go with, let's see, from the Brent, we'll go over to natural gas right there. There's NGF. Natural gas today pushing down again to some nice lows here as we go into the winter months. In the United States, we're seeing really low prices when it comes to natural gas. Let's put it up on J4X. Right there. You see that? It's at $2.53 bid. Yeah, look at that. Nice and low. Nice and low. That's right there. And so you can see daily sells, lots of daily sells. and we've been in a weekly sell for a good long time. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. I bet that thing is like, that's showing 10 weeks in a sell. So that should be fun. Mm-hmm. All right. And so at this point, you can see, is that the weekly? Yeah, the weekly is the same way. It's been, well, what is up with that? Let's see. So that is the weekly, right? Yeah. Okay. So you can see here at least the last 5 weeks it's been in a sell, which is fine with me. Because, let's see, let's roll this thing up again. Here's the 5 weeks. It went into the weekly sell back in here. That's good enough. Look at that. Nice glide down. And in this case here, the product's been in a weekly sell. The beta is all the way here. It's been in that weekly sell where it kind of, this week, it went into the weekly sell here with it moving up. And the daily kept you out of trouble. And then, boy, when you got that sell, haha, what a nice instant gratification that was. Free money. Free money. Here, have free money. You can have some free money too. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Okay, so that is pretty much the energy sector. Now, the only other thing we look at when we're in the energy community, let me just go back over and look at that. We go and look at, let's put it up on the screen for you. We look at that Spanish energy company that trades, their stock is very liquid and they trade it very actively, and we've seen this thing hanging out in the 28s. So there's definite pressure. It's very hard to identify the price tag of what they're trading natural gas for in Europe at any given time. It seems like it's all over the place. Janos tried to work on getting a what was it? He said he was trying to get. Let's put it up over here. Right there. Janos was saying that he was trying to get an index, trying to get Dukascopy to have an index on it. But I guess, there's a very hard delivery. It should be a cash index. That's the thing. I wonder if Europe has a problem with cash indexes. In other words, you build an index, and then you trade a contract on it, and instead of you delivering the contract with the stocks or the energies or whatever, like a futures contract, you deliver the difference between the amount of money it's worth. Just a cash, what we call a cash contract. Exactly. Let's just do that again. So that pretty much shows you right there. And we got it up on, let's move it over to here. We put it up on, there's J4X, and there is that Spanish energy company right there. Then we look at it over here on the beta, and you can see, the product is banging around the 28 area. It's been moving up. Obviously, the coldest fall in over 100 years, I think they said, in Europe. I have to just change this. Let's change that. So that's the only way we can identify what natural gas is going for in Europe. And one thing's for sure, something like 2/3 of Europe is under snow. You've seen all those airplanes being frozen and so forth, which is kind of funny. Those global warming people were trapped with the airplanes. It was kind of funny. They keep on telling us about global warming, and their airplanes are being frozen in Europe. I guess they better go to a warm weather climate next time they have a conference, so that they can at least walk around in Hawaiian shirts and go, "Oh my God, it's so hot." Yeah, it's January and it's what is it? December and it's so hot, and not tell everybody that they're in the southern hemisphere. Not the northern hemisphere. Yeah, basically that's what they should do. All right, so from there we've pretty much completed the view of the energy sector, and what we do now is we drive ourselves over to, where do we go from here? We go into the equity universe, the littlest of them all. But if you or anybody out there wants to see something on a currency or a metals contract or energies or whatever, just fire it out. Are you concerned about where Amazon or Google or Microsoft is? Shout it out. We'll put it up on the screen. That's no problem. All right. From there, we go over to the S&P 500, and there you can see they're trying to lift it up a little bit. It's at 62. It's up about 4, 5, 6 points at this point, showing some life in it. I know we have news coming out. We have the labor number popping out in something like 12 minutes. So that's gonna, they're trying to front run whatever's there to be front run. Let's put it that way. That's the S&Ps. Let's show you the intraday. You can see the intraday has been lifting up. So went down below 4,550 and has been lifting up for hours basically since the. Let's make it a little bit clearer right there. Basically, there's the European Open is right around in here. This is the European Open, and they've been rising ever since. So they obviously know that the numbers are going to be a certain way, and they're front running the marketplace. So we'll see how much they lift this market up from all that. All right. From there, we slide over to the Tech 100. That's the, let's find it and put it up there, right there. This is the NASDAQ 100, and let's put that up on the screen. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. There we are. And there's the Tech 100, and it's been sloppy but down, for a bunch of days, and it's still in a weekly buy. They're not marching away from it. And we go over to that right there. There's the Tech 100, and you see the same thing. It's been pushing up and up and up and up and up. That's the weekly, just like here. And then we go to the daily right there. You see the pressure on the downside just on a short term. And again, this could be just literally tax selling at this point. That's the gist of it all. Always at this point, this time of the year, it's flattening the books out. It's getting to zero again and then starting over. You got whole 12 months to do it over again. And that's why we see these markets the way they are. Then we'll go and look at the granddaddy of them all. The grand lady of them all, really. And that is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which has been acting very well for a long while. They call them the big cap stocks. They're like, they've got something like 7 NASDAQ stocks in the index now, and 23 of the New York Stock Exchange stocks in it. If I had told you that 10 or 12 years ago, it'd have been like, nah, that's insane. Or 15 years ago, that was like, no way. But now that the New York Stock Exchange is owned by ICE, they have a very comfortable way of just making it a mixed index. So you have Apple in there, and you have Microsoft in there, and you have Intel in there, and then you have who else is in there? Google and Amazon are not in there. Let me think. Cisco Systems is in there. Amgen is in there. And there's one other in there. I can hear it in my head. I think it's 7 of them total. So I could go look at the list. But, it's nice to see the Dow, modernized. Because now the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, is only about 20% of the size of the NASDAQ exchange. And it used to be the other way around. The NASDAQ was the small exchange, and the New York Stock Exchange was the major exchange of the world. Now it's the other way around. And so, it makes a whole different characteristic, I guess you could say, for the Dow. No reason for it to be locked into the non-NASDAQs. I mean, can you imagine not having Apple or Microsoft or Intel in one of the top indexes of the world, or the top index of the world? It's a strange situation to say, All right. Let's take a look at, we're going to go over, first we'll put it in J4X. We'll look at the Russell 2000. There that is. It's been trying to climb. It's climbing from the 16 and change there to the 18 and a half. So it's been pretty good, trying to get to 19. Same situation over here. This is what the Russell 2000 is, basically what the NASDAQ used to be. The Tech 100 used to be. Now the Tech 100 is the premier, stock indice, I guess you could say, and exchange. And you can see there the last couple of days we're seeing some weakness right there. And it's in a weekly buy now, which is really cool for the last 4 weeks. Yeah, we've been in there for 4 weeks now. So go like that, and then go like that, and go like that. After that long glide down, and let's move it over. It's something like right there. There it is. So those are 4 weeks. And it's made another move. It went from the 18s to almost 19. It's pretty good over a 6-day period. And we were in a daily buy from, I guess, right there. Let's put that in there. Let's grab one of them other ones. Go like that. And contract it a little bit. No, it's no. Okay, so we're going to steal that red. Just turn it into a green. Like that. And then we can move this one over too. That's there. And joined in there, and it wasn't much of a move, really. Pushed it into the sell, now right back into the buy. Where was it? The buy was right there. Then it got pushed into the sell for those 2 days, right there. But you can't take the sells. You could only be long, 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 long. So we'll create a long one now. We'll go like that, or we can do this. We can go like that, and go double click it and just make it green. So that's the action we've been seeing in what is, the smallest of the indices, and it has, like I said, it has the NASDAQ characteristics of old, being the weakest of the companies, and then it jumped back into the buy. I think it was right there on that one, and it ran up to here and then went into a sell that day, and then we couldn't take it because we're in the weekly buy, and then we went back into that move right back in there again. So that's the action of it all, and so we're done. We're going to get prepped for the numbers for the next few minutes. So this is Doc from North America. Can't wait to see you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Tomorrow will be the end of the week. Thank goodness it's the end of the week. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, traders. Catch you on the flip side.